All right, we are back with episode 3 of Slingshot Basics from Slinging Shots with Philip. Remember to like, subscribe, comment down below if there's anything you'd like to see me cover. If you have questions, if you got comments, I would love to hear from you. Let's build those algorithms and help build this channel to where we're having a good time. So let's dive on in. Today we're talking about ammo and anchors. There are different kinds of ammo. The most popular ammo you see out there is steel shot. And that's what I have here. I'm using 8mm steel or 5/16. They also come in 1/4" or 7mm. I've tried that, a little too small for my liking. There's 3/8 or 9mm, which is real popular, especially when you start getting into hunting. That's a little bigger. And if you're totally into hunting, you can get like the 1/2" 12, 13mm. That's some big stuff. You got to have some big bands and tapers, and it's illegal to hunt with a slingshot where I live, so I'm never going there. But I know some people shoot those, and it's all options. 8mm and 9mm are kind of your standard out there. Simple Shot, you can buy various sizes from Simple Shot. You can never go wrong getting anything from them. No, I am not paid by them. No, I don't have an affiliate link with them, or I would put one below. And if they want to give me one, I'll be more than happy to do it. But I buy a lot of my stuff from there. You can buy the ammo there. You can also look online at that big retailer that has trucks driving around everywhere. So there's multiple places you can get it. It can get a little pricey. So make sure you got a catch box that catches them, or just learn you're going to go through 1,000 rounds for $25, $30. The other kind of ammo that is real popular, and it's what I shoot at home outside in my backyard, is clay. These are some of the clay pellets. I get these from that big box retailer that has the blue logo with the yellow sunburst on it. I like them. They vary in size a little bit, but generally they're 9mm. I know they also make 1/2mm or 1/2" or 13mm clay that you can get. I don't shoot anything that big, man. It's got to be a good. That's quite a hold on a 1/2" piece of ammo. So this is what I shoot outside. The cool thing about ammo, it breaks down when it gets wet. It turns to dust with a good impact. If it's hit cement or something really hard, a lot of times you can see the dust go. So I have a lot of white marks on my backyard shooting area, the fence around it, because it hits the fence all the time. It's not quite as accurate as steel because they're slightly irregular sometimes, meaning they're not perfectly round. But from 10 yards and in, they're pretty good. I know when I get out and shoot 20, 25 yards, a lot of times I can see them go. So probably not good at distance, but close in, they work really well. You can get them at the big box stores. You can get them online. You can get them from Simple Shot. Lots of places to get them from. Some of the other options that I don't have are airsoft BBs. A lot of people use those, especially learning, because they're hard plastic. They're not steel or clay. They're small, so the bands can be really thin and really skinny bands, so the pull weight is easy. It's great for learning because you're not expending a lot of muscle energy until you start building those muscles up. You can use BBs from BB guns. I shot those a number of times, especially when you're trying to dial in your anchor point or you're aiming. Shoot BBs at a piece of paper. You'll see your pattern. You'll shoot common in a place and you can start dialing that pattern up. It doesn't destroy your target as quick. If you're trying to cut a can, BBs can do it. Man, it's going to take a while because they don't pack a punch. But I've seen people that have cut cans in half with BBs. Another popular one are marbles. I know at the big box retailer, the blue with the yellow sunburst, that place, they sell a container of like 500 1/2" glass marbles. Those would be really good, but man, if those hit something and shatter, you got some mess. So I don't mess with those. But marbles are an option. Some people, especially people that hunt, use lead shot. You can buy lead balls in the various sizes like the steel ones that I use. Lead packs a little bit of a punch because it's heavier per size. You're going to have to adjust your bands to shoot that lead. There's going to have to be a bigger, faster band to push that downstream. And Rocks. That's what we shot as kids with those slingshots made out of inner tubes or them wrist rockets. We shot rocks. You can shoot rocks, but it's not advisable. Get sharp rocks. If anything goes wrong, they go a little wayward, they'll cut your bands. They're not real accurate. But hey, if you're in a survival situation, I know there's a guy, Zach Fowler, that was on a survival show called Alone, and he had a slingshot with him. And he just picked up a random rock and got a squirrel with it to eat. So rocks work. Don't recommend them. If you can, make sure they're smooth and as close to round as you can find. And arrows. Yes, you can shoot arrows. They have a special adapter for the slingshot that the arrow sits in. It's called a bow sling, and they're really cool. I may have to invest in one. And there's one other, darts. Dude, you got to be crazy if you go there. They're little darts about this long, and they're nasty looking. And you shoot them like regular. So can you imagine getting a frame hit with that? I've seen pictures of people with the dart through their hand. Couldn't pay me enough to go there. But that's an ammo variety. If you so dare to choose to go there, don't blame me if you get hurt. I'm innocent because I said don't do it. But I know people that do it. And if you want to go there, more power to you. Not going to happen. All right. I'm going to set up my cameras where I can go over by the range so I can show you some stuff as we're shooting. You can see examples of it. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back with how to find your anchor point. This is very important. You'll want to make sure you dial that in and you will be consistently shooting well. So I'll see you in a second. Finding your anchor point. This is one of those key things that you need to figure out. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use an anchor point that's right at the corner of our mouth. That's where we always tell you to start. So I'm going to get a piece of ammo, and I have a camera downrange so you can see where I'm shooting at as they miss or hit the targets. You can't see the range from this shot because I want you to be able to see the mechanics of what I'm doing, but I've got a camera down there so you can see where my shots went. So the first shot I'm going to do, I'm going to aim at the bottom row of targets, the one on the right, the big one with the red dot on it. I'm going to make my anchor point right at my mouth. We're not going to worry about the left and right. We'll get into that in a second. We're going to get the anchor point decided and figured out so we're shooting up and down correctly. So first thing I'm going to do is to start, this is an easy way to learn. I'm going to put my anchor here. I'm going to stretch my slingshot out. You should be able to see that I'm parallel. My bands I'm going to line up, and I'm going to put my sight right on the red dot on that target. I missed the shot box completely. It hit the archery curtain behind the curtains. It was very high. So to fix that, we're going to move our anchor up a little bit. Okay? Because think about it. If it's shooting this way, it's shot high. If I move my anchor up, it's going to bring the shot down. So if you're high, anchor up. I know it sounds weird, but it works. If you're high, anchor up. So this time, instead of shooting here, I'm going to move it up somewhere around here. Okay, anchor up here. Going to aim at the red dot. Was like that much high on the target. Should have been able to see that down there. That first one you probably didn't see because it didn't even hit in the target box. So this time I'm going to come up a little bit more. I'm going to, instead of being here, I'm going to come up to here. Still just a little high. Okay, my anchor point is on the bottom of my cheekbone. So I'm going to do that for my anchor point on this shot. And hopefully we hit the target. We got it. It was a little bit high. Let's do it one more time to make sure we're right. I haven't warmed up at all today, so I'm shooting cold. Anchor. Parallel. I'm not this way. I'm not this way. I'm not this way. I'm straight. Right smack in the middle. All right, so that's our anchor point. If you're shooting low, you want to move your anchor point down. Okay? So if I was anchoring up here, a lot of times I'll start shooting low on everything, and I'll just just a teeny bit down until I get that muscle memory and get it all lined up, because sometimes I'm pushing hard on the bone, sometimes I'm just touching it, and that little tiny bit makes a big difference. So adjust anchor up or anchor down. If you're shooting high, anchor up. If you're shooting low, anchor down until you get your height dialed in. Don't worry if you're missing the target left and right. Let's get down target, down range at the right height, and we'll worry about tweaking the rest. But let's get you dialed in, shooting well. So remember, if it's high, anchor up. If it's low, anchor down. The other thing I told you about, and this is be the very last piece of the video, is if you're shooting left and right, okay, you should have your bands lined up where they're one going right down the band. I wish I had a pair of glasses with a camera in it so you could see what I'm seeing on my bands. But this band should cover that one. You should not be able to see your bottom band when all is right. Every now and then, if I'm shooting really left, I'll pull the bands just the tiniest little bit in where maybe they're covering more of the fork. Or if I'm shooting right, I'll pull them out just a tiny bit where the bands are still pretty much disappeared, but you're just kind of moving them out from the fork a little bit. So if I'm shooting here, you'll see me doing this. I don't know if you can see that, but my hand is wiggling. I'm lining my bands up with where I want them to be, and I got the target. If I was shooting left, I would move in. So this time, I'm going to move my bands out just a tiny bit away from me, and watch where my shot goes. Okay, I've got it aimed. Now I'm going to move it out just a little bit. That was a little low. Let's try a different one. Let's try it again. Okay, I'm going to move my band out a little bit from where it should be. See how it went left? If that's the case, I'm going to move my band in towards me just the tiniest little bit. And we're talking about micro increments here. And you do that until you get that sight picture. Down the bands, through the top band makes the bottom one disappear. And when you get all those pieces of science, I told you, there's a lot of science, there's a lot of physics in this. Once you get all of that just right, you start shooting really well. So I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe. I love hearing from you guys. I hope this helped you a little bit in your journey to becoming proficient with the sling. So we'll see you on the next episode where we're talking bands and pouches.